Hi and welcome to my channel. I am Teenie Crochets and today I am going to be working through this crochet kit from So Crafty. So hopefully in the end we will have a beautiful cloud and you will be able to crochet along with me. So for all the items you'll need, stay tuned and get your crochet hooks at the ready and let's get going. One of the main reasons that I began to learn to crochet all them years back was to keep myself out of my own head. I needed to be distracted. I'm one of them people that need to be mentally stimulated all the time. So learning to crochet and doing the number counting from rows really helped me with that. So when I was shopping, I was doing my food shopping yesterday in Aldi and I noticed that they had these little craft crochet kits for only £3.99. I knew I had to buy them and I had to see what they were about. Now I have never ever done a crochet kit before. I have only ever bought yarn and followed patterns before I started making my own patterns. So this is the first time that I've ever done this. And I think this is great because people can pick these little crochet kits up for so cheap and begin to learn a new hobby or skill. And to be fair, how adorable is this little cloud outcome. So for those who don't know, on Instagram I did a little vote and I bought 3 of these kits and I wanted to know which one you wanted me to review first, and this adorable little cloud one. So I'm going to be doing this one first, but I do have another 2 kits to do over the next couple of weeks. So the kit identifies itself as intermediate skill level, but I don't think it's going to be intermediate. I think this is going to be more of an easy to beginner. And you get an instructional leaflet and you get everything inside to make this cloud. The only thing you don't get is the scissors, so I'll even get a crochet hook inside of here, which I'm not looking forward to using because I love the crochet hooks that I use, but I'm going to use everything inside this box to make this cloud. Also, the instructional leaflet is going to come written in UK standards, so the UK terminology, which I'm already not looking forward to because I crochet using American terminology. So we'll see how well the instructions are, but I'll also be converting these to American terminology for myself to be able to make the cloud. So whether you use English or American terms, you should be able to make this cloud with me as we go along. So this is the first time I've seen what's inside this box, and if I can find my scissors, there we go. I'm going to open it and let's see what you get inside. So inside the box we have a bag of polyfill stuffing, which feels nice and soft, and then we have all the colours that we're going to need, DK yarn, so double knit yarn. And we have a 3mm hook. So when working with double knit yarn, I tend to use a 3.5mm hook. So it's going to be unusual working with a smaller hook than I'm used to. And this hook is plastic. So I'm just hoping, I tend to crochet, my tension tends to be quite tight. So we just hope I don't break this. Now the only thing that didn't come in the kit that was meant to is a darning needle. So I've got plenty of darning needles anyway, but it did say it would come in the kit, but I can't find it, so it's not the end of the world. So yeah, that's what's inside the kit, and obviously the instructional leaflet. So this is the instructional leaflet, and as we open it, on the first page we have the abbreviations, which I might crop and put in the corner of the screen with the alternative terminology that I'll be using. So for instance here, we have a double crochet, which is English, but in American terminology this would be a single crochet. So it can become very confusing. So in order to find out what type of pattern you've got, I would always recommend looking at the stitch list. So if we look over here at what they're suggesting a double crochet is. A double crochet is to insert the hook into a stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both these loops. So this is what I would call a single crochet, which is American terminology, but in English terminology this is known as a double crochet. So I know that this is an English pattern because they're referring to this stitch as a double crochet and I would refer to it as a single crochet. So I will probably put this up here somewhere just so we can keep tabs on exactly what we're doing along the way. Now we also have a pattern note. Many sections are worked without joining in continuous rounds unless specified. Place a stitch marker in the top of a stitch to mark start of a round. So basically we're going to be single crocheting in rounds, and we're not going to be joining and chaining one at the end of each round. We're just going to go in a continuous circle, which sometimes means you can lose track of when you end and start a new round. So if you need to, use a stitch marker, and it's just going to make it really easy for you to identify when to start and stop on each round. Okay, so to start the pattern we're going to begin with the body. And it says for round 1, using white yarn, make a magic ring, work 6 double crochet into the ring, and then in brackets we have 6 stitches, which means at the end of this round we're going to be left with 6 stitches. So remember, 6 double crochet to me means 6 single crochet. So magic loops, I'm not a fan of them, or a magic ring, and everyone has their own preference, but I'm going to do what I like to do instead of a magic ring. So I'm going to begin with a slip knot onto hook, and I'm going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and then I'm going to do 6 single crochet into the second chain from hook. So 6 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So what I've just done there is the equivalent of a magic ring and 6 single crochet into the ring. I just find this a more secure way because you begin with a slip stitch. On a magic ring you rely on your weaving in of the ends to make sure that that beginning circle is secure. And it's just not something that I like to do. So that is my magic ring and how I do it. And that is with 6 single crochets into the ring. So the next round says, round 2, 2 double crochets to end. And then at the end of this round we should have 12 stitches. So when you see something in brackets, it means you're going to repeat whatever inside them brackets. So you can see they've got square brackets, and I don't know what they're called, but whatever's inside them brackets you're going to repeat the amount of time stated. So we're going to do 2 double crochets in every stitch to the end of round, which will leave us with 12 stitches. But remember, I'm going to be doing 2 single crochets in every stitch to end. So 2 single crochets into every stitch. So 1 and 2. I hate this hook. 3 and 4. 5 and 6. 7 and 8. 9 and 10, 11 and 12. I'm going to persevere with this hook for as long as I can, but what I will say is, when trying to encourage people to start a hobby, giving them something that's so poor like this hook is making this process so much harder, and it would put me off crocheting again. It put me off trying something again because this hook is so poor. I wish they'd put just a little bit of a better, even a wooden hook instead of the plastic, and then maybe people wouldn't struggle so much, because this is horrible. Let's see how far I get with it. So we have 12 stitches, and then we're up to round 3. So 1 double crochet and then 2 double crochet to end. And at the end of this row or round we'll have 18 stitches. So what this wants us to do is do 1 single crochet and then do 2 single crochets into the next stitch, and we're going to repeat that till the end of the row. So remember, what's in brackets we're going to repeat until the amount of times it tells us. So single crochet 1 and then 2 single crochets into the next stitch. So let's do that. So single crochet 1, 2 double crochet into the next stitch for 2 and 3, single crochet for 4, increase in the next stitch for 5 and 6 and 6, single crochet 7, increase in the next stitch for 8 and 9, single crochet 10, increase in the next stitch for 11 and 12, single crochet 13, increase in the next stitch for 14 and 15, single crochet 16, increase in the next stitch for 17 and 18. Okay, so now we're up to rounds 4 to 7. So they want us to single crochet into each stitch around for 4, 5, 6, 7 for 4 rounds. So 4 rounds of single crochet. So 1 double crochet is English, but I'm working American, so to me it's 1 single crochet into every stitch, and we're going to do that for 4 rounds. So we've got 18 single crochets. Let's single crochet around them 4 times. Okay, so I have done my 4 rounds and I'm up to round 8. So this round says 2 double crochet 6 times and then 1 double crochet in 12 stitches to end. And at the end of this round we'll have 24 stitches. So we're going to do 2 single crochets into 6 stitches. So we're going to increase 6 times and then we're going to do 1 single crochet into the last 12 stitches. So into the next 6 stitches I'm going to do 2 single crochet into every stitch. So 1 and 2 into the first, 3 and 4 into the second, 5 and 6 into the third, 7 and 8 into the fourth, 9 and 10 into the fifth, 11 and 12 into the sixth. And now we're going to do 1 single crochet into each of the last 12 stitches. So single crochet 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So we're now up to round 9. So it says 1 double crochet and then 2 double crochets 6 times, 1 double crochet in 12 to end, and then we're going to leave with a stitch count of 30 stitches. So what we're going to do is single crochet 1, then we're going to do 2 single crochets into the next stitch, and we're going to do that 6 times, and then we're going to single crochet in the remaining 12 stitches to the end of the row for a total of 30 stitches. So let's do that. So single crochet 1, increase in the next stitch for 2 and 3, single crochet 4, increase in the next stitch for 5 and 6, single crochet 7, increase in the next stitch for 8 and 9, single crochet 10, increase in the next stitch for 11 and 12, single crochet 13, increase in the next stitch for 14, let's do that again for, I've split the stitch for 14 and, oh come on, and 15, single crochet for 16, and increase in the next stitch for 17 and 18. And now we're going to do 1 single crochet in the remaining 12 stitches until we have a stitch count of 30. So single crochet 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, come on, 10, 11 and 12. So we have 30 stitches, and now for rows 10 to 14, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So for 5 rows or 5 rounds, we're going to do 1 double crochet into each stitch. So we're going to single crochet into every stitch for 5 rounds. So I'll do my 5 rounds of single crochet and meet you back when I'm done. Okay, so we're up to round 15 and it says 1 double crochet and then decrease, double crochet 2 together 6 times and then 1 double crochet in the last 12 stitches to end for a total of 24 stitches. So we're going to, or I'm going to, single crochet 1 and then single crochet 2 stitches together 6 times and then single crochet in the last 12 stitches for a total of 24 stitches. So I'm going to single crochet 1 and then single crochet 2 stitches together 6 times. So single crochet 1 and then decrease for 2. Single crochet 3, decrease for 4. Decrease for 4. Single crochet 5, decrease for 6. Single crochet 7, decrease for 8. Single crochet 9, decrease for 10. Single crochet 11, decrease for 12. And now we're going to single crochet into 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. The longer I use the hook, the more I get used to it, but it's really weird because as I'm crocheting it's bending like this, so I'm trying to get used to the movement. So that was row 15. We're up to row 16. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet 6 times and then double crochet in the final 12 stitches for a total of 30 stitches. So we're basically repeating row 9 here. So we're going to single crochet 1, 2 single crochets into the following stitch 6 times, then 1 double crochet in the remaining 12 stitches. So we are increasing again back to 30. So single crochet 1, 2 single crochets in the next stitch for 2 and 3. Single crochet 4, increase in the next for 5 and 6. Single crochet 7, increase in the next stitch for 8 and 9. Single crochet 10, increase in the next stitch for 11 and 12. Single crochet 13, increase in the next stitch for 14 and 15. Single crochet 16 and increase in the next stitch for 17 and 18. And now I'm going to single crochet into 12, so 12 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So row number 17, 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches and then 2 double crochet 6 times and then 1 double crochet in 12 stitches to end. So for row 17 I will be doing 1 single crochet into 2 stitches and then 2 single crochets into the next stitch 6 times and then I'm going to single crochet in the remaining 12 stitches to the end for a total of 36 stitches. So I'm going to single crochet for 1 and 2 and then increase in the next stitch for 3 and 4. Single crochet 5 and 6, increase in the next stitch for 7 and 8. Single crochet 9, 10, increase in the next stitch for 11 and 12. Single crochet 13, 14, increase in the next stitch for 15 and 16. Single crochet 17, 18, increase in the next stitch for 19 and 20. Single crochet 21, 22, and increase in the next stitch for 23 and 24. And now we're going to single crochet into 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So that was round 17. Now on to round 18. It says to do 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, followed by 2 double crochets 6 times, and then 1 double crochet in 12 stitches to end. So for round 18 we will be single crocheting into 3 stitches, and then doing 2 single crochets into the following stitch 6 times, and then 1 single crochet in the remaining 12 stitches to end. And at the end of this round we will have 42 stitches. So let's do that. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then increase in the next stitch for 4 and 5. Single crochet 6, 7 and 8. Increase in the next stitch for 9, 9 and 10. Single crochet 11, 12, 13. Increase in the next stitch for 14 and 15. Single crochet 16, 17 and 18. Increase in the next stitch for 19 and 20. Single crochet 21, 22, 23. Increase in the next stitch for 24 and 25. Single crochet 26, 27, 28. Increase in the next stitch for 29 and 29. 29 and 30. Then we're going to single crochet the remaining 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So now for rows 19 to 23, 1 double crochet into each stitch. So for 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, for 5 rounds we're going to do 1 single crochet into every stitch around. So we're going to single crochet these 42 stitches for 5 rounds. So finish my 5 rounds and you can see the cloud coming on. So we are now up to around 24. So it tells us to 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, decrease, double crochet 2 together 6 times, 1 double crochet in 12 to end. So we are going to single crochet into 3 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together for decrease, and we're going to do that 6 times. Then we're going to single crochet in the remaining 12 stitches to end. So single crochet 3 stitches and then single crochet 2 stitches together. So single crochet 1, 2 and 3, then decrease for 4. Single crochet 5, 6 and 7, decrease for 8. Single crochet 9, 10, 11, decrease for 12. Single crochet 13, 14, 15, decrease for 16. Single crochet 17, 18, 19, decrease for 20, and then single crochet 21, 20, 21, 22, 23 and decrease for 24. And now single crochet 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So we are now up to 25. So 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, decrease, double crochet 2 together 6 times, and then 1 double crochet in 12 to end. So we're going to single crochet into 2 stitches, and then single crochet 2 together for a decrease 6 times. And then we're going to single crochet in the final 12 stitches for a total of 30 stitches at the end of this row. So single crochet 1 and 2, decrease for 3, single crochet 4 and 5, decrease for 6, single crochet 7 and 8, decrease for 9, single crochet 10, 11, decrease for 12, single crochet 13, 14, decrease for 15, do that decrease again, decrease for 15, single crochet 16, 17 and decrease for 18, and decrease for 18, and now single crochet 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, and 12. Okie doke. So we have 30 stitches, and now we're up to round 26. So double crochet 1, decrease, double crochet 2 together 6 times, 1 double crochet in 12 stitches to end. So we're going to single crochet 1 and then decrease by single crocheting 2 together. We're going to do all of that 6 times, and then we're going to single crochet to end. So single crochet in the remaining 12 stitches. So we're going to single crochet 1, decrease for 2, single crochet 3, decrease for 4, single crochet 5, decrease for 6, single crochet 7, decrease for 8, single crochet 9, decrease for 10, single crochet 11, decrease for 12. And now I'm going to single crochet across 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So round 27, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets 6 times, 1 double crochet in 12 to end. So we're going to single crochet 1, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the following stitch 6 times, and then single crochet in the remaining 12 stitches. So single crochet for 1, increase in the next stitch for 2 and 3, single crochet 4, increase in the next stitch for 5 and 6, single crochet 7, increase in the next stitch for 8 and 9, single crochet 10, increase in the next stitch for 11 and 12, single crochet 13, increase in the next stitch for 14 and 15, single crochet 16, and increase in the next stitch for 17 and 18. And now we're going to single crochet 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. And now the pattern says start to stuff and then continue to stuff as we go. So with my bag of polyfill, which feels quite nice, I'm going to stuff the bottom half of the cloud. Does anybody else think this looks like a croissant? So I've stuffed so far. Let's move to the bottom half of the instructions. So I'm going to fold them over. And so now for round 28 to 32, so 28, 29, 30, 132, for 5 rounds, double crochet into every stitch. So for 5 rounds I'm going to single crochet into all stitches. So 5 rounds of single crochet. And I'll meet you back here when I'm done. Okie doke. So we're now up to round 33, and it tells us to double crochet 1 and then decrease, double crochet 2 together 6 times, and then 1 double crochet in 12 stitches to end. So I'm going to single crochet 1, single crochet 2 stitches together 6 times, and then I'm going to single crochet 12 stitches to the end, and that will give me 24 stitches. So I'm going to single crochet 1 and then decrease for 2, single crochet 3, decrease for 4, single crochet 5, decrease for 6, single crochet 7, decrease for 8, single crochet 9, decrease for 10, single crochet 11, decrease for 12, and then single crochet 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So for the next round, round 34, it says decrease, double crochet 2 together 6 times, and then 1 double crochet in 12 stitches to the end. So I'm going to single crochet 2 stitches together 6 times, and then single crochet in 12 stitches to the end. And we're going to have 18 stitches at the end of this round. So I'm going to single crochet 2 together for 1. I'm going to decrease again for 2, decrease again for 3, decrease again for 4, decrease again for 5, and then 1 more decrease, decrease again for 6, and then single crochet 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11 and 12. So we've got 18 stitches, and they now want us to single crochet around these stitches for 35, 36, 37, 38, 39 for 5 rounds. So I'm going to single crochet around these 18 stitches for 5 rounds. I'll meet you back here shortly. So I'm now going to put a little bit more stuff in it because we're going to be sealing the cloud up shortly. So before the hole or the gap gets any smaller, a little bit more polyfill. And now we are up to round 40. So it asks us to double crochet 1 and then double crochet 2 together, and it'll leave us with 12 stitches. So it doesn't say to end, but I'm assuming that we're going to do this all the way around. So 1 double crochet 2 together, and then we're going to be left with 12 stitches. So I'm going to single crochet 1 and then single crochet 2 stitches together, and I'm going to do that 6 times in order for us to have 12 stitches. So are you ready? So we're going to single crochet 1 and then single crochet 2 stitches together for 2, single crochet for 3, decrease for 4, single crochet 5, decrease for 6, holy moly, I hate this hook. So decrease for 6, single crochet 7, decrease for 8, single crochet 9, decrease for 10, single crochet 11, decrease for 12, decrease for 12. Again, a little bit more filling. Okay, and then let's read the last round. Round 41, decrease, double crochet 2 stitches together. Again, it doesn't tell us how many times it wants us to do it, but for 6 stitches I know that we need to decrease 6 times. So I'm going to single crochet 2 stitches together 6 times to be left with a total of 6 stitches. So I'm going to decrease 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then it says fasten off and use the yarn tail to sew up the remaining 6 stitches. So to fasten off, I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch to join and then chain 1, and when I find my embroidery scissors I'm going to cut that end and pull through. Okay, so now to close the end of the cloud, I'm going to pop this end onto my embroidery needle, and it says just to sew up the remaining 6 stitches, so I'm just going to pick them all up to join them and then weave in the yarn tail. The last instruction for the body says, with grey yarn embroider 2 eyes and a smile. So I've got the grey yarn that they provided in the pack, and I am going to find the end. Unravel a length of it, clip it, pop it onto my embroidery needle, and I'm going to use the photo as reference to sew the eyes on. So how I like to embroider things, I come in from the reverse side and make sure to come in between a stitch. You don't want to thread it through a stitch, you don't want to break a stitch. So bring it in from the back. And then I'm going to sew exactly where I want the eyes and the mouth to be. And on the picture, the cloud has lovely eyelashes, so make sure to add the eyelashes as well. And then obviously we're going to do the same thing over the opposite side. And the last thing we need to do is the mouth. Now for the rest of the pattern, I'm not going to use this anymore. My hand's hurting from the repetitive strain of the fat part of the hook twisting in my fingers, so I don't want to use this anymore. It's the only thing I don't like about the kit so far, so I'm going to swap that out and I'm going to bring in my hook. So I'm going to be using my good old-fashioned hook. So the next thing we're going to make are the cheeks, and it says to make 2. Using pink yarn, make a magic ring, work 8 double crochet into the ring. So I've got the pink yarn, and again I'm going to do my version of the magic ring because I don't really like the one that you make this way and it becomes, and you crochet into it. I don't like this ring because I don't feel like it's secure enough. So I'm going to do my version of a magic ring. I'm going to slip knot onto hook, and then I'm going to chain 2, and then it asks for 8 double crochets into the ring, so I'm going to do 8 single crochets into the second chain from hook. So 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And then it says slip stitch into the first stitch, fasten off and leave a yarn tail. So I'm going to slip stitch into that first stitch to join, chain 1 and then fasten off, leaving a long yarn tail. And I've lost my embroidery scissors again. There we go. And we need to make 2 of these, so I'm just going to make another one. Next it's time for the raindrops. So you're going to make 5, and we're going to make 3 in light blue and 2 in dark blue. So I'll show you how to make 1, and then if you want to make any more you can go away and make them in your own time. So it says round 1, using light blue yarn. I'm going to begin with the light blue yarn, make a magic ring and work 8 double crochet into that ring. So we're going to do the same thing we've just done with the cheeks. So first of all I'm going to unravel this yarn. So the same thing we've just done, I'm going to slip knot onto my hook, and I'm going to chain 2. 1 and 2, and into the second chain from hook I'm going to do 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Round 2, 1 double crochet into each stitch. So I'm going to single crochet into each of these 8 stitches that we've got. So 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Round 3, 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then decrease 2 stitches together to make 6 stitches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to single crochet into 2 stitches, and then I'm going to single crochet 2 stitches together, and I'm going to do that all twice. It doesn't say here to do it twice, I think they've missed it out, but we should do this twice in order to make 6 stitches. So I'm going to single crochet in 2, 1 and 2, and then I'm going to single crochet 2 stitches together for 3. So decrease for 3, single crochet 4 and 5, single crochet 2 stitches together for 6. So we've got 6 stitches. Next it says for round 4, decrease, double crochet 2 stitches together, and then 1 double crochet into 4 stitches. So I'm going to single crochet 2 stitches together, and then I'm going to single crochet into 4 stitches for a total of 5 stitches at the end of this round. So I'm going to single crochet 2 stitches together for 1, and now I'm going to single crochet into 4 stitches. 2, 3, 4 and 5. So now it says fasten off, and using the yarn tail to sew up the remaining 5 stitches. So to fasten off, I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch to join, chain 1, cut the yarn tail, then with my embroidery needle I'm going to pop that yarn tail onto my needle, I'm going to sew up these remaining 5 stitches. And then I can thread these tails into the work and cut them off. So there is one little raindrop, and we need to make another 4 of these. So I'm going to make another 2 in the light blue colour, and then I'm going to make 2 in the darker blue colour, and once I have them all made up we will begin to make the sun. So to make the sun, and we're going to make 2 parts of this, so everything I do now you're going to have to do twice. So to make the sun, this part of the pattern is made using rows, so we're not working around anymore, we're going to be working back and forth. So row 1, using yellow yarn, make a magic ring, work 4 double crochets into the ring, turn, and we'll have 4 stitches. So I'm going to do 4 single crochets into a magic ring. So to do my magic ring, as always, slip stitch onto hook and chain 2, 1 and 2, and into the second chain from hook I'm going to do 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and at the end of the row I'm going to chain 1 and turn. So when it says turn, we must chain 1 before we turn so that we can begin the next row. I think this pattern assumes that the user knows this sort of information. So for row 2 it says 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, turn, for a total of 6 stitches. So I'm going to single crochet 1 and then do 2 single crochets into the following stitch, and I'm going to do that twice for a total of 6 stitches. So I'm going to single crochet 1, increase in the next stitch for 2 and 3, single crochet 4, increase in the next stitch for 5 and 6, chain 1 and turn. Row 3, 2 double crochets, turn, for a total of 12 stitches. So we're going to do 2 single crochets into every stitch across, and then at the end we're going to chain 1 and turn. So 2 single crochets into every stitch, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, 11 and 12, chain 1 and turn. Row 4, 1 double crochet followed by 2 double crochets, turn, for a total of 18. So we're going to single crochet 1 and then do 2 single crochets into the following stitch 6 times, chain 1 and turn. So single crochet for 1, increase in the next stitch for 2 and 3, single crochet 4, increase in the next stitch for 5 and 6, single crochet 7, increase in the next stitch for 8 and 9, single crochet 10, increase in the next stitch for 11 and 12, single crochet 13, increase in the next stitch for 14 and 15, single crochet 16, increase in the next stitch for 17 and 18, chain 1 and turn. So row 5 says chain 3, 3 treble in same stitch, mix next 2 stitches, slip stitch in next, forming 6 points. So because this is an English pattern or written using English terminology, The treble crochets in American are referred to as double crochets. So that's the difference here. So I've already chained 1. So we need to chain another 2. 1 and 2. And then I need to do 3 double crochets in same stitch. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into the same stitch, yarn over to pull up a loop. So there are 3 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn. Oh, that didn't go very well. So let's do that again. Yarn over, insert hook into stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2. So there are 2 loops left on my hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. So we need to do another 2 double crochets for a total of 3 double crochets. Next, miss 2 stitches. So count 2 stitches along, 1 and 2, and then slip stitch into the next stitch. And it wants us to repeat that for a total of 6 times, so we have 6 points. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets into that same stitch. 1, 2, 3, skip 2 stitches, slip stitch into the next stitch. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets into that same space. 1, 2 and 3. 3. Skip 2 stitches and slip stitch. So I'm going to do that for a total of 6 peaks. And then at the end of this row, we're just going to slip stitch to join, chain 1 and fasten off, and leave a little bit of a longer tail because we need to join the 2 parts of the sun together very soon. So we're now up to the making up, and it does say for the sun using a yarn tail, so the 2 halves of the sun together. Excuse me. So with the wrong sides of the work, so the back sides of the work, I'm going to join them together. So I've got the right sides facing out on both sides. Then I'm going to select one of the yarn tails that I used or cut off at the end, and I'm going to sew these 2 pieces together. It doesn't give directions on how it wants it to be sewn, so it's up to dealer's choice. So I'm just going to literally do a stitch all the way around the edge, joining them both together. I'm not going to join the bottom together because I will open this up as I attach it to the cloud, so I can then sew around the outside of this part. So I'm not going to sew that together. So the last thing I need to do here is to just weave in some of these yarn tails. So I was just having a play around with how I'm going to attach the sun to the cloud, and I think I am going to sew the bottom up, and then the easiest way I can think of attaching it is just to sew it onto the back of the cloud. So that's what I'm going to do. So with the longer yarn tail, I am going to sew the bottom closed. I initially thought it'd be easier not to, but I was wrong. So I'm going to sew this bottom part together. And then I'm going to hold the sun in place behind the cloud, and I'm going to sew it into place. If you need to, you can use embroidery pins, but I'm just going to hold mine with my thumb. So So next we're going to sew on the cheeks. So I'm going to bring the cheeks in that I made earlier, and with the centre tail, so the initial tail, I'm going to thread that onto my needle first, and then I'm going to use this to pick where I want the cheeks to be, like so. And then with the long tail, I'm going to sew them into place. I'm going to do the same thing for both cheeks. So the next part says, sew 5 strands of white yarn under your cloud at alternate lengths, not in place to secure. So these are going to be the strands of yarn that we're going to attach our raindrops to. So I have cut 5 equal strands in lengths. I'm going to attach one end onto my embroidery needle, and this is how I'm going to attach the strands. So I'm going to pick the place where I want it to be, and I'm going to sew over the same stitch twice to secure the strand into place, and then I'm going to weave that yarn tail in and cut. I'm going to do that with all 5 strands. So to make them even, I've done the centre one first and then the 2 furthest ends. So my next 2 strands will go in between these 2. Next it tells us to thread your darning needle with the first yarn strand and push through the raindrop not in place. So I'm going to move that out the way. So I'm going to start with the middle. I'm going to take the middle strand, pop it onto my embroidery needle, select one of my raindrops, and thread through. To make sure I get the raindrops all in the same place, I'm going to attach them all to the yarn first, and then I'll cut them to the desired lengths. So I'm going to attach all of these raindrops first. Okay, and in the picture the 2 darker blue are longer than the 3 lighter blue, so I'm going to pull mine down a bit so they're all in a place where I want them to be. Okay, and then I'm going to knot the end, so I'm just going to do a little knot at the bottom of them all. Actually a double knot. There we go. And after that's done, I'm going to trim the edges or the excess yarn at the end of the drops. I think she's looking really cute. So the last thing we need to do is to make the loop for the top of our cloud. So for the hanging loop, it says to chain 20, slip stitch into the first stitch to join, fasten off but leave a yarn tail to attach to the cloud. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my yarn, slip knot onto hook, chain 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. And now I'm going to slip stitch into the first chain. There we go. To join the 2 ends together, chain 1, cut this tail. And then I'm going to use these 2 yarn tails to attach it to the top of the cloud. So thoughts and opinions. First things first, I love how it turned out. I think it is so cute, and if anybody you know is having a baby, this would be the perfect sort of thing that I would make for my friends anyway, and wrap it up in a bit of tissue paper and it'd make a perfect gift. In the instructions it did say to add a face to the sun, but I didn't like it, so I just chose not to do it. Now, the only thing I didn't like about this pattern was the hook, but it does work and it does do what it's meant to do. The price point of $3.99 for all that you get in this collection, I think is brilliant. The amount of yarn that I have left is enough to make another 3 clouds. So you're not just getting a kit and getting 1 cloud out of it, you're definitely going to make 3 or 4 at least. So the value for money is excellent. The quality of the yarn isn't the best yarn I've ever worked with. It's a little bit fluffy and it splits easy, but again, I don't think that's really a problem. You know, these are things that you can get on with. So I absolutely love it, and I love how it turned out. Now the pattern, because I write patterns myself, I very rarely look at other people's patterns or look at instructionals in a book, for example, because I don't want to be influenced by other people's work. So it's something that I try to avoid to make sure that my work stays my work and it's not got inputs from other places. But this pattern was nice to read. It was really to the point. There were some parts where if you didn't have a little bit of knowledge or skill, maybe you would have struggled a bit, but you enjoyed this. No problem. It was something a bit different. It's a lovely pattern. Leave a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, click that subscribe button, including the embroidery needle that I didn't think was there in the beginning. Do you think I should review them? I'm just so happy with how it turned out. Don't forget to go and subscribe. So I already have a friend who has told me which one is going to be hers. So I will have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video. To go to It's Forever Home.